This figure surprised me. It turns out way better than I expected. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. Today with a scale figure review, and as you can see, this is a big one. So this is made by a Japanese company called Hobby Stock, which has been around for a long time, though this is my first time buying a figure from this brand. Manufacturer Hobby Stock, but producer Wing. Yeah, Wing company. 1x4 scale Hikage from Senran Kagura, New Link, which is an ecchi game which was adapted into anime series. I watched it like so many years ago. I don't remember a thing anymore about the plot and the storyline, other than being very certain that there are a lot of oppai jiggling around. You know, it is an ecchi anime after all. Now, getting back to this figure over here, at this height on New Link position, 26 centimeters, but it is still a big figure. And the official MSRP price is 26,000 yen only, which is still very affordable for a 1x4 scale, especially when you compare it to free inks offerings, right? This is not a new figure. First came out in the white nurse version back in November 2022, and then the figure was re-released again in 2024 in two versions, both the white and the black version. The black version is new. It came out in August 2024. So this is a fairly recent release from 6-7 months ago, yet the value has bargain binned. I paid half as much compared to the official MSRP price of 26,000 yen. Yes, and that is brand new, by the way. So what is up with that? I think I'll try to guess the reason near the end of today's video, but firstly, we take a look at the packaging and the box. So this is what the box looks like, and this is something a lot of people are going to be very happy about because it is so small and compact. This is probably one of the cheaper 1x4 scale figures to ship. Yes, very cheap. And while the box is small, there is nothing to shout about, you know, the quality and everything, your typical paper box. If the postman decides to treat your parcel like a basketball, then this thing is going to take a lot of damage. Yeah. And straight out of the box, there is only figure and a syringe which is supposed to go into her left hand over there. It fits very nicely. It is neither too tight nor too loose. And for a figure like this, one can say that you don't even need any base at all, so you save on the cost, right? That is why the figure is partly so cheap. But in my opinion, even though the figure does not require any base, you should find a way to give her a base, like something that is not painted, be it a piece of natural wood or a piece of cloth that is not dyed, by the way. Do not use a cloth that is dyed in red or orange or some bright color and put it underneath the figure because, you know, the paint can transfer over, and then, yeah, the bottom of her knees will look red color later on. So I would still suggest anyone who owns a figure that does not come with a base to come up with your own base solution, no matter what it is, as long as it is not painted once again. Now moving on to the sculpting of this figure, I would say this figure is at the average level for 1x4 scale PVC figure. It is certainly more detailed than a 1x4 scale bunny girl from Chinese brands that cost 9,000-10,000 yen, but it is nowhere at the level of, for example, Free Ink's 1x4 scale Nikkei figures like Anis, which is not a bunny girl. It is also not as detailed as the upcoming Nikkei figures coming from Hobby Sakura, the ones that cost like 50,000 yen. So with that in mind, 26,000 yen, even before any discount, is a very good value over here. As for the face of this figure, if I compare it to the official product pictures by Hobby Stock back then when she went on pre-order, I would say they are virtually identical. So I have no problems over here with her face, very accurate. A 9 out of 10 maybe? Yeah. I'm just way too stingy to give any figure a full score of 10 out of 10. At the same time, I think she could have gotten a 9.5 maybe if the face expression is something else other than this poker face look. Yeah. I don't even remember what this character is like. Is she a kudere or yandere or tsundere or what dere it is? Maybe she is the silent type of character and her face is supposed to look like this, but whatever. Moving on to the main body and everywhere else, the sculpting. This is where quality control is excellent. If there are two separate parts that have to be joined together, the arm over here, the legs, the hairpiece front and rear, I am always searching for ugly gaps, unnatural gaps, or seam lines, right? Or even mold lines, glue leaking out, stuff like that. There are none of that over here. Everything is clean and neat, very nice. So the sculpt of the rest of the figure, I can give it a 7 out of 10. Not any higher because detail level is just average. As for the paint work of this figure, there is a major stark contrast between the head and everywhere else. With the head, the hair over here, this is a nice dose of shading and weathering on the green color hair with a matte finish, smooth to the touch. Her hair is such a joy to look at for some reason, the paintwork, I really like it. But for the rest of the figure, mainly her clothes over here, we see this gloss black paintwork with a red color trim. And as usual with detailed parts like the thin red color trims, I will always be searching for paint bleeding, being one of the most common flaws in anime figures. None of that over here. Very nice. So sometimes we see black color paint, bleeding over, encroaching into the red color regions or vice versa. None of that over here. Everything is very precisely painted. And they should be at this scale of 1/4. Yeah, if they screw up a 1/4 scale paintwork, that is inexcusable. As for the surface finish of gloss over here, which is a major departure from the hair and the rest of the body, the skin area, I think gloss is the correct decision over here. Matte is a bad idea. A lot of people prefer matte paintwork, right? Because, our shirt is not supposed to be shiny unless it is a leather suit. But in this case, you know what? Gloss is better because there is a lower risk of paint transfer. The major advantage of gloss is that it is very smooth, it is very nice to the touch, and there is less friction with the opie underneath over here. This is a customable figure. You can remove her head and remove her top cloth piece over here and you get to see her opie in its full glory. So that means that this is a major paint transfer risk where the black color paint could end up on her body. But with this specific figure over here, I would say the possibility is very low because since the skin is already matte finish, which is rougher compared to a gloss finish, they went for gloss for the cloth for the outfit so that less friction over there, so the risk is a lot lower over here. So I wouldn't worry about paint transfer with this specific figure. Unfortunately, the cast off part is only the top, not the bottom, because this is ecchi anime and game, not H, right? As for the skin region, we get your usual skin color that is matte finish with some pink color undertones. So overall, the paint quality over here is excellent. No other flaws to be seen, be it scratches or paint transfers, things like that. None of that over here. And there is no base over here to judge, which means no stability test as well. So with my conclusion with this figure over here, this figure surprised me. It turns out way better than I expected. And this is coming from a brand where they don't make that many 1/4 scales compared to freeing. So I'm not sure what to expect when I bought this figure. Now, to bring up the topic of bargain binning, why did she bargain bin, right? My theory, my guess over here is re-release. You see some figure companies, they see their first release selling so well, maybe the value even go up, there is a shortage. Then they think, oh, let's just re-release it because people will buy it anyway, and they overproduce it. So there is this supply-demand balance there that is being tilted the other way around. Now you have an overproduction and no one to buy it, and this kind of things happen. So that is probably the reason. Over in China, it is very different from Japan, where if a figure turns out to be really bad in quality control, that is enough of a reason for a figure to bin, which is not the case in Japan. The Japanese don't even care if the figure is badly made. You see those people queue up for beautiful inside figures so much that they had to re-release those bad figures. People still buy them anyway. But in China, it is different. They look for quality, the people there. Yeah. So with the quality of this figure turning out to be mostly excellent, the only other possible reason is overproduction. So if you want one of these because you are a 1/4 scale figure collector, why not? Because cheap 1/4 scales are the best thing ever. If you are a Senran Kagura fan and you don't have this one yet, yes, pick one up. But if you're not interested in this figure because you don't like the character, you don't care about the game and anywhere else, then you save your money for something else, simple as that. So with this figure over here today, she comes as highly recommended, and that is all. Please do give this video a like if you found it helpful and informative, and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Until then, thanks for watching and goodbye.